This week on Inside Boulder News.
The city announces a popular service is returning. Find out what it is. Boulder's Urban Forestry Department is branching out to community members as they enter the last phase of this planning process. And Open Space and Mountain Parks wants to hear from you on an important project. Welcome to Inside Boulder News, your source for all things Boulder. I'm Jocelyn Avendaño. Last summer, Boulder launched a pilot program called Park to Park, where free shuttle buses took visitors to and from the scenic area of Chautauqua. The pilot provided nearly 23,000 free shuttle rides and decreased parking by 20% on neighborhood streets. And starting Memorial Day, the popular shuttle rides will return. Those who like to visit Boulder Chautauqua Park know that parking can be a challenge for the trailhead and the neighborhoods.
Everybody is trying to get up here to hike for the most part. It's very hard to get here by any means other than the car. And then when they get up here, there's very little parking. And that means that people go and park in the surrounding neighborhoods,
which caused problems for visitors and residents.
Then having parked in the neighborhoods, they're crossing baseline and they're in conflict with all the other cars that are trying to get into the neighborhood.
So to mitigate traffic congestion and improve safety and accessibility to the park, the Chautauqua Access Management Plan was developed. Part of this plan was the Park to Park pilot program that was launched last summer.
What we found in the pilot program that we did this past summer is we had huge, substantial decreases in the amount of cars that were parking in the neighborhood and really high ridership of this shuttle bus.
Thanks to the success of the pilot program, City Council decided to continue with the free shuttles and paid parking at Chautauqua for another 5 years.
The bus will run on the same route, and it runs roughly on the same time. It had run from 7 to 7 last summer. It's going to run from 8 to 8 this summer.
Vehicle parking will also remain the same at $2.50 an hour with the exception of handicap parking, which will be free. Satellite parking will be in the same locations with parking lots downtown and off of Broadway and Baseline Road.
What we hope to accomplish out of this, much of which we've already accomplished, right, is that we continue to keep the number of people parking in the residential areas down, that we continue to keep the ridership on the buses high, and that in doing so, we decrease the amount of traffic on Baseline itself, and all of that works towards our transportation master plan goals.
Late last month, the city released an in-depth report of its open space and mountain park system. Now city staff is seeking your input on community values, hopes, and concerns for the future of OSMP. The city's comprehensive report details how the city manages the more than 45,000-acre open space system. It also addresses trends in the upcoming open space and mountain parks master plan.
The master plan is going to help us establish a strategic vision that will help us manage these incredible landscapes for the next decade and beyond.
With the release of the report, OSMP will begin a much more robust and in-depth engagement process with the community. Community partners and staff will be at trails and popular locations around Boulder to hear residents' input on Boulder's open space.
We really want to know what you think and what they value to really kind of create a vision for the future. Without community support, we wouldn't have what we have today. So we really need the community to tell us what they think and help us plan for the future.
In addition to the engagement opportunities, OSMP will be hosting 2 community meetings to talk about the master plan.
The first one is going to be on March 12th, and that really is going to provide the community to ask questions about the system overview report, let us tell them, inform community members about what's in it, answer any questions they have, and really kind of have an opportunity to solicit more input about the master plan.
The open house will be held on Monday, March 12th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Jewish Community Center. But make sure to also mark your calendars for March 18th for OSMP's celebratory master plan kickoff called Imagina.
We're going to have multiple different activities for our community to really kind of for us to hear what's important to them, but then also to have just engage with staff and have a good opportunity to discuss the future of open space.
For more information on OSMP's in-depth report and upcoming events, please visit osmpprojects.org. The city's Forestry Division oversees over 50,000 public trees throughout Boulder. And to help manage all the trees, they have come up with the Urban Forest Strategic Plan.
What we're seeing is that we certainly need to continue caring for the urban forest. There are many threats that we've seen. The main outcome of the plan is that we need help.
The city has been working on the plan over the last year. As the Boulder Forestry Department wraps up the final draft of the plan, the information gathered is coming together to provide key outcomes and solutions. Storm events and the invasive species emerald ash borer are some of the major problems highlighted in the plan.
This plan really shows how you can help, how each tree in your yard contributes to that overall canopy, how you can care for that tree, the resources that are available to you as a Boulder resident through our forestry program.
Residents and community members will have one last opportunity to get help understanding the plan and provide their input at the city's upcoming open house.
The exciting thing about the open house is that it's not only staff talking about the urban forest plan and the strategy, but it's going to be this nonprofit group, the Play Boulder Foundation, giving opportunities of how you can get involved. We're going to have a lot of staff sharing information about trees.
The city realizes that it takes everyone in the community to protect the urban canopy.
Because once that tree is lost, it takes a long time to grow another one that same size and provide those benefits.
The Urban Forest Strategic Plan Open House will be held on Saturday, March 10th from 1 to 3 p.m. at Upslope Brewing. For more information, please visit bouldercolorado.gov/forestry.
March marks Women's History Month, and to celebrate, Boulder Senior Services will host an author talk by Colorado native JVL Bell. Bell researches frontier history and incorporates these facts into her novels, most of which are historical mysteries. She will speak about her novel, The Lucky Hat Mine, set in the mid-1800s in Idaho Springs, and will be discussing the feminist heroine in her book. The author talk with JVL Bell will be held from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. on Monday, March 5th at the West Senior Center. This talk will be the first in a series of programs for older adults hosted by Senior Services. Please visit bouldercolorado.gov/seniors for more information. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's edition of Inside Boulder News. If you have pictures, news tips, or events you'd like to see featured, we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe. Have a good week.